are approximately from Ozark, I would say 15 miles. We took Highway 23 north to Wire Road and took Wire Road out 4 miles, then took Royal Oak until the spot where we parked here. And this is on the south side of the Mulberry River that we're going to, and it's Anvil Rock Overlook, like I say. And the access is really tough to get to on this side. It's one of my favorite spots to come to. I come down here frequently, and just to get away and clear my head.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Upon the invitation of local outdoor enthusiast Doug Mabry, we set out to his favorite overlook along the Mulberry River. A recent snowfall added to the beauty of the area. After walking less than 100 yards or so from a gate where you can park, look for a large flat rock against a tree. Turn left off the road at this point and begin heading downhill. Since there isn't any trail, you'll have to bushwhack your way down, veering off to the right. After about 200 yards from the road, you'll eventually spot the Mulberry River as you approach the overlook.
Oh yeah, this makes it all worthwhile here.
Yep.
Beautiful.
When you get down here, it is definitely worth it. I have observed a lot of eagles from this spot. You may get lucky and see one, you may not see any, you may see 10 or 20. You just never know. This particular area is the start of the lower section on the Mulberry River. It's called the Anvil Overlook here, the Anvil Overlook.
That's a tongue twister.
Yes, it is. And there's a rock actually just below us here that is the shape of an anvil that's in the creek, and it's the particular area is Salt Springs Bend. I'm not real sure why they call it that, but we're just on the south side of the river, and this is a great spot. There's a lot of unseen stuff down here that people, that you just need to get out and stomp around and check out.
I guess we came here at the opportune time after a good snowfall. And
right.
I imagine in autumn it's pretty here too.
Yes, it's absolutely beautiful. You get those fall colors, But today we didn't see any eagles, doggone it. But
oh well.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. I come here quite. I've only lived 2 miles from here, and I come down here all the time, at least once a week,
That's a good inspiration point here, I imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. You clear your head, get your thoughts together out here.
There was one day, though, as Mabry mentioned to us, during which he got a little too relaxed.
Yeah, I came down, it was on a Saturday in the spring, and I came down, it was a really beautiful day. And I got down here about 5, 6 o'clock and threw my hammock up between 2 trees here and jumped in it, fell asleep. About 8:30, I heard somebody yelling for me. It was my wife. She was a little concerned. Yeah, she was kind of wondering if I didn't, if something happened to me, but it was all good. I was relaxed.
Relax for yourself at Anvil Rock Overlook above the Mulberry River, northwest of Ozark.
The beauty of winter, if you can brave the elements, is beckoning for your call to be explored. It's a wonderful combination of ice and running water. Now, just a few days ago, Glory Hole over there was frozen solid, if you can believe that, at sub-zero temperatures. And now that the temperature has gone up above freezing, it's a raging, gigantic faucet.
Actually, if it wasn't for the pouring down rain this particular day, and with all the runoff, the frozen column behind the rushing water would still be visible. Glory Hole, to say the least, is quite an interesting waterfall. Throughout time, the force of all the rushing water, little by little, eventually bore a hole through the roof of an overhanging bluff, and thus creating a stunning waterfall pouring out of the rock below. I remember when I saw this waterfall for the very first time, I was just mesmerized by the flow of water gushing out from the hole in the rock. Getting to Glory Hole is fairly easy. If you're coming from Fallsville in the Ozark National Forest on Highway 21, go east 6.2 miles and turn off to the right down a dirt road where you can park. There's finally a Glory Hole sign there pointing in the direction down the road. After about a quarter of a mile is where the actual trail begins off to the right. Glory Hole is another 3/4 of a mile or so down this trail. Along the way, there's at least a couple decent waterfalls that you can enjoy and photograph. Might add that you'll be crossing the main stream plus a couple of other tributaries along the trail, so appropriate footwear would be wise, especially during winter. Allow yourself at least 3 hours for a 2-mile round-trip hike, which includes the time you'll want to spend at Glory Hole itself. In the town of Sheridan, there's a museum that could, quite frankly, rival any of the state park museums. The Grant County Museum traces the county's development from prehistoric times to the present, and then some. Containing about 10 galleries, the Grant County Museum is definitely much bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside.
Yes, we hear that all of the time. People, especially, we're a little off the beaten path, so people will come in and say, oh, I've heard about your museum, but once they get here, it is just absolutely, astonishing. We're a small museum, but it is so much more than that. We hold about 3 acres combined with our buildings outside and our nature boardwalk and our main building here. So there is definitely a lot to see.
Well, I was just, when I first came here, going through, you've got the wildlife display here. You've got World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, automobiles, and some future-looking car I didn't even know existed. It was built back way in 1985. And, and the other building, which is quite an extensive World War II vehicle collection.
Yes, all donated. Everything that we have here is donated by mostly Grant County residents, a few from out of the county, but everything that you see has pretty much been donated and compiled together to make the galleries that we have what they are.
Even having that other section, music history, and a covered wagon, and John boats, fishing boats.
Anything you can imagine, we have it. I can almost guarantee you, anything you can imagine, we have something related to it or can be found here. So there is a lot to see.
Although not labeled as a military museum, it does contain, as already mentioned, quite an extensive display of World War II vehicles, such as with the Richard Harrison collection of military vehicles.
He was looking for a donor for his collection, and we heard of this, and some of our foundation members got together, and through a donor we were able to build the building out back called a Harrison building that holds these vehicles, and so we were able to bring those here and have them on display for viewing.
Which, what I understand, is like one of the largest
collection
in the nation.
Yes, absolutely, yes. So we're very fortunate that he was very generous and kind enough to donate those.
The Civil War period is also, of course, covered with the Battle of Jenkins Ferry, which took place southwest of Sheridan. Considering the numbers engaged and percentage of casualties, Jenkins Ferry was one of the Civil War's bloodiest battles. 1,700 at best estimate total Confederate and Union casualties, respectively. In keeping with the military theme, there is another unique item on display here, a bottle of vintage cognac purchased in 1938 when the Last Man Club was formed. Consisting of World War I vets, an annual meeting was to be held until only one member survived, and only then could the bottle be opened. In 1992, Oliver Williams of Sheridan became the last man and opened the bottle of cognac to give a toast to his departed comrades. The bottle, along with Williams's picture giving the toast, remains on permanent display.
Well, Lindsay, not only do you have all the bukus of exhibits inside, now, if that wasn't enough, you have all this on the outside.
Yes, we were donated each building beginning in the early 90s. Each building was donated and relocated out here to our Heritage Square. And all of the buildings are maintained. They are decorated and furnished as to the time of their origin.
Yeah, they're like the schoolhouse.
Yes.
You got something you don't see every day, is that old cafe.
Yes.
Milltown Cafe.
Yes.
And this is...
Yes. That's very familiar to a lot of our Grant County residents. They love to come in the cafe. It just takes them back to, you know, the time of their youth when they would go in and cheeseburgers or a hamburger might have only been, you know, 10, 15, 20 cents, and they really enjoy that. We also have our dog trot home over there. That's one of our favorites as well. We have our McDonald house here, which holds we have a post office in here, a doctor's office, and a lawyer's office. So that's kind of 3 in 1. So you get to see a little bit of everything in our McDonald house. So we have quite a few opportunities for different sightings out here, if you will.
And school kids can, I guess, come here and see what
Absolutely.
Early America.
Absolutely. It's a great tool for the school kids. They come out and they see all of these things. They can read about it in the history books, all day long, but to come out and actually see, and we have some living history presenters who will come out. We have a blacksmith and a school marm who will come out and visit with the students, so it's a great opportunity for them.
It's also a great opportunity for everyone, not just Grant County residents, to experience, including, last but not least, a 700-foot barrier-free nature trail boardwalk through Shackelford Woods. And if you still have energy left, you can climb the old fire tower out back.
We're going to close out the program kind of in a way we started it, by trekking out in the snow, except in this particular case with a snow float. We're on Crooked Creek near Harrison. The temperature's in the single digits and the wind chill factor's way below zero. But it'll all be worth it, so he said.
Well, we're going to get out there, Chuck. I think it's going to be good. We'll hopefully see some wildlife and some snow and plenty of water if we can keep them freezing to death.
All right.
Dennis Whiteside is a popular stream guide in the Arkansas and Missouri Ozarks, with whom we've gone out on a couple of previous segments.
Chuck, as you know, I spend most of my time floating in the summertime, fishing. But I do get out in the winter. I enjoy it. Nothing quite like it. A lot of wildlife. And I actually spend a lot of time hunting in the wintertime.
You said the wildlife you can see at this time of the year is all completely different.
You just see a lot more wildlife. You have a lot of the waterfowl species are along these rivers. As you well know, we've got cold temperatures, and the flat water is frozen. So these streams are kind of like lifeblood. They're the places where you can get to the water. Ducks and geese can feed. I like the snow this time of the year, the way it kind of highlights things. You see the shadows and the shapes. We're on the upper end of the creek. Hathcote Road, Crooked Creek Road, Mule Marshall.
Crooked Creek, of course, has been a long-time favorite with anglers since it's classified as a blue ribbon smallmouth bass stream.
I've caught good smallmouth right here in this hole of water. There's very few places on Crooked Creek that have not actually floated. There's a lot of people don't know it, but the stream basically goes underground just right up above the Highway 14 bridge at Yellville. And normally you can't float any further than that. Spring of the year there's enough water, but up here there's always water, and Crooked Creek's a phenomenal fishery. I've been on countless streams, and I'm not sure there's a fishery like it anywhere. Summertime, you can come down through here in the shoals and be wading and just kick up clouds of crawdads.
What about the fishing, though, at this time of the year?
Fishing, you've got to fish slow and deep. Fish are in what I call wintering holes, the deepest bodies of water on any particular stream. And lethargic, I guess, would be one term you could give them, but...
see, some right there.
Yeah, that's probably suckers.
Yeah.
But if you fish with all small hair jigs, something small, slow, and deep around logs and big boulders. You can catch fish. I do a little winter fishing, but frankly, it's just not what I want to do. When you can get out here and do what we're doing, duck hunting and seeing wildlife, there's not anything quite like it. The vegetation is down. You can see way back into the woods. The geology gets more exposed. And like you were saying, looking at a little kingfisher there.
Yeah.
But there's just lots of wildlife up and down the river, all kinds of waterfowl.
And most of the time, you come out this time of the year, nobody else wants to brave the cold.
No, no, I never see anyone. Now there are those that like to get out and make a float in the wintertime, and I encourage them to do it. You need to be prepared for it and dress warmly. I like to roast a hot dog, you know, just stop, build a fire. That's what we do when we're hunting, is we'll go until about noon and stop and build a fire. And more times than not, we've got a limit by then. And I do a lot of squirrel hunting this time of the year. It's their mating season, believe it or not. And so they're active, and you'll have to clean some cold game at the end of the trip, but it's wonderful. I think you figured out by now, Chuck, I enjoy our streams, and I'm out here year round. There's just not anything like it at all.
That's for sure. Swimming hole right here.
Yeah. You see the depth on this hole of water right here would hold some fish. They'll be in under a rock, a log, and they do eat a little bit through the winter, but their metabolism is down quite a bit.
And it was at this picturesque swimming hole, which I'll have to remember come summer, where we stopped to build a fire, warm up, and roast a few hot dogs.
How many times a year do you do this in the wintertime? Not too often, huh?
Not this cold. I've made a few floats this cold and have killed ducks. I've been out this year probably half a dozen times on rivers. First time in the snow. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy it. I float and hunt up in Missouri now because that's where I live. And but years ago I'd come down here on Crooked Creek and float it. I've been on it from, well, I've spent all day floating Crooked Creek upstream from Harrison. You know, most people don't even know Crooked Creek goes through Harrison, but it does, and lots of stories here on this creek. It's a wonderful fishery, and that big canoe we was in a while ago, I have no doubt I've caught enough smallmouth to fill that thing a time or two. But I haven't fished it here in probably 6, 8, 10 years since I've moved up to Missouri, and I'm glad you called on this winter float. I knew people would enjoy being able to see what it's like out here. It's a little more brisk than what you wanted it sometimes, but there's nothing like it,
Yeah,
Chuck.
those folks that are willing to brave the cold and the elements, it is well worth it.
And a lot of people do now. Kayaks have gotten to be real popular for people that go by themselves out on the streams, and I like my canoes because they're just bigger and a little more comfortable, and you can put more hot dogs in. Most everybody that sees you out here this time of the year, they say, those people are crazy. And Chances are I am a little bit crazy, but I love this stuff. Chuck, I do. I tell people if there was something better to do than what I do, I'd be doing that.
So when it snows again, try a snow float for yourself. Just grab a canoe or kayak and head out to the nearest stream and enjoy the beauty of winter in quite a unique way. And for more on this destination, plus many of our others, or to order a copy of an episode, visit our website, aetn.org/exploringarkansas. And don't forget to like us on our Facebook fan page. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.